We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to another episode of the Safe Word podcast. I'm down here in near downtown area of Austin, Texas, at Melrose Podcast Studios.
Podcast.
MelrosePodcast.com.
Yeah, with an S at the end. It's hard for me to say. I regret picking that name. Melrose Podcasts.
Yeah, and being from San Diego, you have a bit of a lisp.
I think that's just Jewish.
Is that what that is?
It's something. It's like from being inbred, maybe.
Or just maybe the...
Maybe it's from not wearing my retainer at night. I don't know. Maybe it's from the chip in my tooth.
Is it from... Your teeth meet up perfectly.
I have good teeth, but
Yeah.
I do have a chip in one of them.
Yeah.
And maybe that causes a little lisp. I don't know.
You might have the Jim Carrey chip.
Maybe I'm a homosexual, and I didn't know. And I just haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe
but
you're
maybe
not a homosexual.
Maybe I have a little gay in me.
Maybe my mother watches this.
And she wouldn't like that if you had a homosexual on. No, I'm just kidding, Mom. I'm not gay. Yeah.
Smell my breath. Yeah, so this is your fourth appearance on the show. In fact, you were the first guest I had on my show when you were kind enough to help me set up my podcast.
Thank you.
Over a decade ago.
It's good to be back for the 15 listeners.
Yeah, for the 15. No, this is the thing. Things have changed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're down to 9.
Oh,
I'm trying to.
It's hard to keep them.
In fact, the microphones aren't even on. This has been a running joke in my life, is to see how many people I can get to sit in a room with me for no reason.
There's a lot of podcasts out there. It's hard.
Oh, is there?
There's a lot.
You know how much? Speaking of, you know what kind of financial return I've had on the podcast that you helped me set up?
I'm gonna guess negative $8,000.
You know what? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10 grand.
Yeah.
It's cost me 10 grand over 10 years.
It's funny because every 2 years you're doing this podcast and you go, hey, maybe if I bought nicer equipment and refreshed it, I could get this thing going. So then you spend another few $1,000s, and
3 months later, you're back to the toilet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, like I said, when a decade ago, when I'd first fired this thing up, the podcast world was pretty different. It was Mark Maron and Joe Rogan and Adam Carolla and maybe a couple other people.
And even then, people would go, there's so many podcasts.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's so many big podcasts. You can't start a podcast.
Now there's, 600,000?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every year, 100,000 people would start a podcast.
Our producer, Brandon, has like 3 podcasts that no one listens to.
Brandon is trying to build up enough confidence to leave his wife. So
they're not even their fiance.
This
so
is what I'm talking about.
This
He's
is
like,
a bad
I gotta
sign
get out.
He's already thinking
we
about
signed
that.
a lease, and I'm counting the months.
Have you ever been married?
Ah!
You look like a guy that's either never been married or been married 17 times.
Never been married. A couple engagements.
Did you ever get remember that girl?
Yep.
Who you drove down to Orange County with, listening to music? You took me with you. You were opening for Tom Green, I think at Irvine Improv, and I just went with you for the adventure.
What color was she?
She was white, of course.
Canadian or American?
I think Canadian, had red hair, tattoos. She was really hot.
Oh, that cunt.
Yes.
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 Yes. No.
Were you ever engaged with her?
No. Fortunately not, because it was quite funny because she was from my hometown, and friends of mine had said, I think you're girlfriend's fucking the line cook at this pub she's working at.
Sounds about right.
And
you're not cool with that?
No.
You like monogamy?
It was rude. It wasn't talked about, and I discussed it early in the relationship that I wasn't interested in any half-assed horseshit. I'd only had 3 or 4 months out of a year to put into a relationship.
You strike me as a man that would be okay with his wife or girlfriend
Drilled?
getting drilled by a line cook. And I'm not saying you're a cuck. I'm not saying you're a cuck. You just seem very open-minded.
No, it wouldn't be a question of open-minded. It mean I wouldn't care about the person enough because I knew that she was a pig, and it's inevitable. If anything, I can get a good story out of that slob getting hole hammered by a stranger.
Been there.
Yeah, I remember I did a gig at a sex club in Las Vegas.
That sounds like a interesting.
Whoa!
Were they having sex during the performance?
No.
Or they took a break to watch the show and then after?
The show started. It was a comedy show. It was kind of friends and family show. People who worked and were comedy fans. Howard Dover put it on.
I don't know who that is.
He's Jewish. Howard, my friend from Canada, he was doing a lot of the 420 shows at the store, probably in early 2000s.
Okay.
And then he occasionally would do an event that was usually 420, raising money for people, marijuana-related medications and stuff. It was just a great time to get stoned with a bunch of comics.
I would definitely do that gig.
Yeah.
Even if they said, hey, just so you know, all the sex members are very overweight, old,
Yeah, I know, but
gross, I would
Ari,
still be like, yeah, we're doing that.
you're a different animal, though.
I'm the good kind of animal. Open-minded.
No. You just like to see the scum of society. That's the only reason that you've kept me in your life this long, and I know you've made a decision. You get to stay, and I appreciate that.
I identify as scum of society, even though I'm not. I'm actually better than the scum. I'm really good body, clean cut,
Yeah.
work hard,
Yeah.
good work ethic.
Yeah.
But still, in my mind, when I close my eyes, I am scum.
Yeah, because you know that you're about 2 phone calls from becoming a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One phone call.
Yeah.
Is it Branda or Brenda?
Brenda.
Brenda. Are you really going to leave your wife because you got 3 podcasts?
I'm thinking about it.
That's
Feels worth
crazy.
it to me.
But did you came in that girl from Australia, didn't you?
Many times.
You were there for a month?
I was there for 2 or 3 weeks, and I was with her for maybe a week.
That's it? You
Yeah.
talked about her for 4 months.
Well, we were in a relationship for 6 months.
That's right. Did
She
she ever
was-
make it to L.A.?
I met her when she was a tourist in LA, but she never came back to see me. That's kind of what ended us. Is I flew to Australia. Then it was her turn,
Yeah.
and she was like, "I'm not."
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't have enough money. I don't want
Yeah.
to do this."
It's a $20,000 a year relationship just on 2 or 3 commutes.
Yeah, and we were 23
yeah.
or whatever. I was really young.
Yeah, you
Poor.
had a hard cock, but you didn't really have the capital to carry
I spent
that
all my
boner.
money to go to Australia.
Yeah,
for
of course
her.
you did.
Literally all
and
of
you're
it.
laughing about it because
Yeah.
it was worth it.
It was so awesome.
It's
well
great,
worth
right?
it.
For a
'Cause
week.
Here's the thing. That was now 10 years ago, whatever it was, 8 years ago. When I look back, I don't think,
Your face
man,
is
I
red.
could have saved that money. I look back and go, that was great.
Yeah.
You never think back.
You
and-
could have lived under a bridge in Los Angeles for a month after that and still had a stupid grin on your face.
Mhm.
What happened? Was it just the beauty?
She was beautiful,
Yeah.
sweet. I feel bad.
Beach girl?
What if she saw this? It'd be embarrassing. She'd be like, I can't believe this guy's still talking
10 years
about me.
ago, put it this way, she's
Yeah.
put on 40 pounds and she's got 3 kids.
I stalked her a few months ago.
See?
She's living on the Gold Coast, I think, and has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Has a serious
Did she get
boyfriend.
fat?
No, she still looks great.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Jesus.
She's the one that got away.
Is it? After that week of sex?
She's one of the ones that got away. I have multiple girls that have gotten away that have slipped through my grasp.
I think you turning a one-night stand into a long-term relationship happens.
It happens.
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
times you've been involved with a girl and you realize this fucking pig has got to go?
That happens too, but usually if they're my actual girlfriend, I don't want them to go. But definitely I have been with women who I thought, oh, this could be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then after one night, I'm like, how do I escape
It's weird,
this
right?
situation?
It's like it's moving in that direction. I feel a bond with this person, a connection, and then she takes one shit with the door open, and you're like, shut it down.
If I just hear her fart, even her just saying, "Hey, may I use the restroom?" I'm like, what? It's
Oh, do
disgusting.
that at home, you slob.
Yeah, wait till you leave this country, or wait till you go back.
And I can tell the way it comes out that you're not sitting down for all of it.
That's smelly. They're not the log father. The log father is the only person I like watching.
Oh, yeah, you've seen me dump. That's right. We've got a lot of history together. I forgot about that.
Do you still do that at all, or no?
You know, it went on for like years.
Yeah.
Years. And I've made attempts. I've opened up the app, and then I'm like, what am I doing?
So you've kind of matured in a way. Where you're like,
Matured. I matured in a way.
where you say to yourself, this humor just doesn't do it for me anymore. It's old. You're
no,
over
I had
shit
concerns
humor.
that because I'd have to buy a special phone case, the loop ones, so you can put your hand so you get it underneath the hole.
Right.
And I like people are putting mortgages, like mortgaging their houses, and I'm worrying about whether or not my toilet phone is gonna fall in the
It doesn't
toilet.
need to be one or the other. You could have a mortgage and a toilet phone.
Yeah, but that's a different. I don't know if I can wear both hats.
Well, you can't have a mortgage because
No.
you don't make enough money.
No,
but
no.
I'm talking most people could have both.
Most people could
Yeah.
do it.
I
Yeah,
can't have
so I
mortgage
was
either.
shitting doing scat chats, but you were one of my biggest.
So I mean, it got to the point where, and for those who haven't seen this,
You would go
have
up
all
to
your listeners?
people-
Do all the listeners know what we're talking about?
No,
So Jason had a Snapchat.
Snapchat
account.
had just come out.
Snapchat was newer than it is now, and every snap that Jason would post was
Every snap.
literally every single one was his phone in his toilet, and you could see like his butthole open up and poop come out. Like it was just actual live shits, but you couldn't see his face or anything. It was just the shit. And this was real, and it was
same
every
shot,
time,
every-
once or twice, however often he shit. So it was, let's say once or twice a day, I would get a Snapchat from Jason. I knew exactly
A
what
lot
it was.
would come out too.
Oh, he had it was never, you never really had solid shits.
I was going through a detox, and I was doing
A
juice
detox for
cleanse.
years?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I quit drinking 9 years ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't diarrhea, but it wasn't normally
Brenda's
diarrhea,
laughing.
but it was very gooey. It was
Yeah.
just like
All I was drinking was
very
carrot
solid.
juice.
Yeah.
But
this
so
was-
there was
this
no fiber in it.
Yeah, there's years of no fiber essentially.
Yeah.
So I wasn't concerned
Sewer.
though. I just assumed like this is Jason, and so after maybe a few weeks, I kind of got the gist. It wasn't that I didn't like watching it or liked watching it. I knew it was coming. So
It's
my
like a
favorite.
whoopee cushion.
So what I would do is I would save up your Snapchat.
Yes, I know you
And
would.
then anytime
For
I'd
the
be
year.
around someone, I'd be like, "Have you seen Jason's Snapchats?" And they'd be like, "No, I haven't seen them." I'm like, "You have to see them. They're incredible."
Well, first
and
of
then
all,
I hand
I'd be
them my
standing
phone.
next to you while you're doing this.
Yeah.
You go, "This guy does the great ones."
Yeah.
And then people would hand you their phone, and
Yeah.
you would add them.
Oh, it was the best. And then they'd watch it and they'd instantly go, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And I was like, "You love it?" But it's funny. I thought as soon as I do that, people would appreciate it. Very few people appreciate that.
No, it actually put a little division in some of my friendships.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have an old classic in here that I don't know if you remember this, because I'm doing T-shirts.
That's you.
No, I have tattoos on my legs.
That person looks like
it's Boomer.
they've had. That was right after anal sex, I think.
This
Not
guy
from
used to
pooping.
work at a cucumber farm, and he got caught stealing.
That's a gape. That's a
the
big
gaper.
gape. That's a
By the
big
way,
gape.
go to jasonrouse.com and you can buy gaper shirts. Have you
Is
seen the
that true?
T-shirt design?
No. I didn't know you sold a gaper shirt.
Oh, the gaper shirt.
He's pulling it up on the TV. It's amazing that you.
Yeah, there it is. There's the log father and the gaper
Wow.
one's next to it.
It's a great looking site.
There's the
Really
gaper.
punk rock.
So that's Boomer's
Did you draw that?
asshole. No, a friend of mine who does these kind of T-shirt designs. I asked him to go make it look like a crust punk.
It's actually
And-
cool because you'd have to stare at it in depth to really get it. But from a distance, it just looks like an artsy, interesting design.
Yeah.
I would wear that. I
Thank
really
you.
would.
What about tattoos?
I wouldn't get that tattooed on me, but I don't have any tattoos. If I had a bunch of tattoos, I'd add it to the list.
Is it because you're Jewish? Is that
No,
why you won't get tattoos?
no. Here's my thoughts on. I actually really want to get tattoos, but I don't have a great body. I have a dad bod.
No, but you were in the military.
Yeah, I had a great body then. Yeah.
You were taught.
You
and your brother look gorgeous.
Yeah, I used to have a great body, but I've just been lazy and let myself go over the last decade.
Yeah, but you were fat for about 3 years.
I was fatter than I am now.
You were about 40 pounds bigger. You had a
not that.
Dude, he was fat. Brenda, he was so fat.
I was probably
35 pounds.
heavier.
No, there's no way. Pull up a picture of
There's
Ari.
no fat Ari Mannis.
From 2015 Ari.
No.
He looked like Rosie O'Donnell.
No. But
see, he never got the jowls, but you got the bitch tits.
I had a
and
belly.
The gunt.
And I still do. So what I was going to say about tattoos is, if I could get abs again, I would get a sleeve, because I think tattoos either make you look hotter if you're hot, or uglier if you're ugly. I think if you're a fat guy and you get tattoos, they make you uglier.
Yeah, you look like garbage pile.
Yeah, so I want to get in better shape and then get them.
You know what to do. You've been athletic before.
Yeah.
3 months of hot yoga. Don't jerk off for a month.
So much discipline.
Drink
Jerking
lots
off.
of water.
This is not something you hear every day, but I agree. I think jerking off does make you fatter because it makes you lazier.
Yeah.
You're not going to do 50 push-ups right after you come in your hand.
No one does.
Yeah. You need to do it first. You need to earn the jerk off with the workout.
Yeah, and the thing is if you work out, then you don't have to jerk off because you got someone's mouth. Because you're attractive to a horse.
Yeah, that's
because
true too.
Broken bitches like girls with sleeve tattoos.
And that's
red
what I
flag,
want.
meet red flag.
That's the goal. I want to get a six-pack, get a sleeve tattoo, and then get a girlfriend.
What is this, 1996?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But times don't change. It's the same thing.
What were you born, 96?
I was born in 89.
That's a good year for me.
You remember actually 89?
Oh, yeah.
What happened in 89?
I got asked to leave high school for being there for going into my 5th year.
That's how nice Canada is. They won't expel you. They say, hey, do you mind? We're thinking you should leave.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
He called
they don't
me
do that in America.
He called me a proverbial jack-o'-lantern in front of my mother and then said he's got to go.
That should be the description on the back of your album.
Proverbial jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah.
The problem is why would I glorify my abuser?
Well, you could steal his lingo and not give him credit or money for it.
He's dead.
Cool. Good. He deserves that.
He should be
get
dead.
You out of the school.
Brenda, is he dead?
He's dead.
Mr. Zavitz,
sounds
principal at Hamilton Parkview Secondary School, 88, 89. Mr. Zavitz.
Do you actually dislike this guy?
Yeah, he used to poke you in the chest. He was a real cunt. And in fact, it was crazy. I remember coming home from school. This is high school. I went to you went to the military.
Mm-hmm.
Different. I went to the Oz version of what you did.
What is that?
All boys vocational school.
What, you say Oz version?
All male.
Oh.
Prison style.
Okay.
And
Sleepaway or day school?
Day school.
Okay, so your parents would drop you off, basically like a Catholic school.
With no uniforms, all male.
No uniforms. So you wore whatever you want.
You wore whatever you want.
All men.
All men.
Religious or no?
No religion.
Okay, interesting. I've never heard of this school. That's cool.
And vocational meaning like trade school.
Oh, okay. What was the trade you were learning?
All of them.
All of them.
Used to call it Coconut College. So sheet metal, welding, carpentry.
Do you know any of these skills still?
Yeah.
Really?
I studied horticulture for like 4 years.
That's growing
I can
plants, right?
name plants and design.
Is that a trade, horticulture?
No, botanist, greenhouse keeper, whatever you want to call, in a lab, looking at.
So you can grow weed.
No, but I can watch a YouTube tutorial of a 20-year-old kid doing it perfectly.
Yeah,
and do that. Yeah, I can do anything.
Have you ever grown weed?
No. I tried to have a papaya plant in Austin.
Isn't a papaya on a tree?
Yeah, it was a small plant. It started as a seedling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sat on my porch. It gets to 150 out here.
Really hot.
It got murdered. Yeah,
we need a lot of water and shade.
But probably. I would totally be into growing some tomato plants.
I feel like there's not much money in it anymore.
No.
But
country to
I'm
country.
surprised, actually, looking back in 2012 when I met you, that you weren't growing weed. Seems like something you'd be into. Have you ever sold drugs or been any sort of drug dealer?
I sold drugs to Dr. Dre one day. Yeah.
What kind?
2000. I would never sold anything other than marijuana. In fact, when I was selling marijuana many years ago to help support my career and get me through college at the same time, in late 90s, early 2000s, so the Up and Smoke tour with Dr. Dre and Eminem and Snoop and all that did a Toronto stop, and Russell Peters being the hip hop head. You've opened for Russell a dozen times, haven't you?
No, not me. Abby has.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't even know if he knows my name. I think he did at one point, but he has a lot of friends and people in his life. I don't.
Brought Ari into the Canada Day show, and I think that's how that happened.
I think so too.
Yeah, and Russell had called my home, and I lived in an Orthodox neighborhood at Eglinton and Bathurst, and it was like Jamaica on the other side, Orthodox. So I'm there, all in black. I fit in perfect, no stress. In an Orthodox neighborhood, I lived above a restaurant called Jerusalem, and I've got Russell Peters calling me in front of my house at 4 a.m, saying that he has Warren G, who's Dr. Dre's brother, in a car downstairs, and they just arrived in town, and they were wondering if I had marijuana, and I just had picked up some weed. And then I went down. I'd grabbed like stacks, usually an ounce in each bag, and I just grabbed. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like half asleep. I'm going down. It's completely quiet, my neighborhood, except half of NWA parked in front of my house. It was like a police officer's wet dream.
It sounds fun.
It was great.
Sounds like a fun day.
So then the tour manager was in the car and asked if I had tickets, and I said no, and he hooked me up, and we went. I gave marijuana sold it to Dre at the Four Seasons.
Did you know who you were selling it to, and if so, do you up the price because you're like, this guy's rich, or do you give him a better deal because you just want to be cool? Or the same deal?
No, when it comes to things like that, honestly, I probably lost money on it because I was in such a panic that I just...
Yeah, you just wanted to be cool.
I didn't even want to be cool. I just wanted... I know what it's like to show up somewhere and someone to hook you up. You know when you get to town and
that's what I mean. You hooked up.
So.
You're like, this Dr. Dre, I'm hooking him up.
Yeah, I wanted to hook up.
Yeah. You're kind of like a fame fucker, clout chaser. And that's cool. No. I'm like that too sometimes. If I'm a big fan of someone and they're like, hey.
No, you do that to fuck with people that you kind of like. You abuse people that you love.
Yeah, I try to get blackmail on them. Like, hey, remember that time I hooked you up with drugs?
Yeah.
And that way they owe you tickets or whatever it is that you need from them for a long time. Hey, can you send my girlfriend a voicemail saying that I was with you?
Yeah.
And not doing whatever I was doing.
Girlfriend. The longest your girlfriend you've had is 3.5 months.
2 years.
2 years? When was that?
I just got out of a 2-year relationship like 3 or 4 months ago. Back out there.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Freedom.
Freedom of what? I don't know if you've seen 2024, but it's a fucking toilet out there in the world.
I know. I say that, but I'm really sad.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
I miss it so much.
That's why I only date girls from European countries.
Because why?
Or just anything outside of America. I'm just over American.
Just American girls.
Yeah, culture. The girls, they're the worst.
I think especially L.A.
Oh, they're not even human.
Yeah, L.A. is the worst. Austin, you're saying, isn't very good either.
How many... Yeah, but the girls here in Austin are like garbage pail kids.
What does that mean?
Slobs.
They're dirty, you're saying? They're dirty?
I think they're dirty people.
Okay.
Now, look at the humidity, the heat. You're going to stink a little bit, but don't... Your fashion choices, put some makeup on and shave your fucking armpits. That's
funny you say that. I literally got a smoothie with a girl off of a dating app yesterday. She had hairy armpits, and it. She didn't even address it. I just see it from the corner of my eye.
It's too humid for that.
I was instantly in my head like, this is over. This date's over.
Yeah.
Mentally, I checked out.
Yeah.
I still finished.
She leans over to grab the dinner rolls, and the sweat from her armpit hair drips into your soup. What a pig!
You can't drink soup in this weather.
I have a lot of hot drinks in this.
Do you actually?
Yeah, food. Yeah.
You just like to sweat a lot?
I'm a sweater.
Yeah.
I'm a sweater and a walker, and a runner.
You run?
I run.
I think you should put some content out of you running and giving running tutorials. That would be so off-brand that people would love it. If you're like, hey,
I do another podcast besides this one called Roustabout, which is a walking podcast. It's more of like a hiking kind of through the cities that I'm touring in. I'll show a little bit of the backdrop. But no, you can't keep your breathing recorded while you're running. No one wants to hear all that.
yeah, but just a tutorial. I'm not saying a running podcast. I'm saying.
I'm
maybe
just running for myself. I have no special
I would like
skill.
to see like a running tutorial of how you like to do your workouts.
You just put your shoes on and run for an hour and a half and be home in 90 minutes.
In my head, you'd have like bad knees or something and aren't
No.
capable of running. You're a healthy, fit guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty freakishly fit that way. I walked 2 years in a row, and it started during COVID. I talked to a couple of friends of mine that were athletes. I'm both firefighters in the city. And we walked from Hamilton to Toronto. Now that's 900,000 steps. It took us about 16 hours straight from sun up to sundown. And just short of 1 million steps. In
You do
one
that just
day.
for fun, kind
For
of?
fun.
Yeah.
And then the following year, I talked him into... Because, when you'd done your long skateboarding thing, that's a hard, solitary thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's
yeah,
just,
it's more mental. than
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
else, yeah.
And I knew that with all the hoopla and mental illness that was going around during COVID, that putting myself into a position of that kind of repetition, there's some therapy to that. Some solitary, you're really struggling against yourself. And so I I ride BMX. We'll get into skateboarding a little later. I don't know how recently you've been on a board, but
Not too.
I rode my BMX bike from Niagara Falls to Toronto. How many miles is it from?
Niagara Falls.
Do you
to
guys
Toronto.
measure miles or kilometers?
miles?
Miles.
Because we do things the right
Okay,
way.
so miles from downtown Hamilton, Ontario, Gore Park. Walked to the Keg Steakhouse in Toronto on King Street. Just to give you an idea, this is fucking crazy. This was one of the hardest things I did in my life. I couldn't walk for 3 days.
You just on a BMX bike. So
I
that's
did this-
No gears, right?
It's single gear
Yeah,
bike.
single gear.
Well, the
Why do you just love BMX bikes? Why didn't you think, oh, let me get a road bike or even a
I've never liked those bikes. So how many?
90 kilometers,
I walked 90 kilometers.
which is what, like 60 miles, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean that's 55 miles.
60 miles
Not easy.
on foot, and then I rode the bicycle from Niagara Falls, right at the waterfall, to Toronto.
I didn't know you did these long distance treks. Yeah, that's
I'm trying to get guys to ride from Waco, Texas.
Yeah, it's like 100 miles or so.
Great, beautiful weather. You're riding from Niagara Falls towards Hamilton.
Yeah,
That's
that
all,
sounds beautiful.
all wine country. All
I'd
through
like
there.
to. I'd do that on a skateboard.
And I checked the water table, so I knew what the pitch of the earth was being towards. The water's always going to be a little lower than, I don't know what the math is on
I didn't
this.
know that you're teaching me.
So if
things
you
here.
looked at the water table, I knew that generally the majority of the hills were going towards our direction, opposed to dealing with a series of pitches that were counterproductive.
So you're saying it was slightly downhill.
Slightly downhill in some places,
Nice.
but the uphills weren't
Crazy.
bigger than going the other way.
Right.
There was more downhill than uphill
Yes.
going from Niagara Falls to home.
Right.
Anyway, I'm dumb is what I'm getting at.
No, it sounds the opposite. It sounds smart.
But
Sounds great.
I do enjoy
How long ago was that? This adventure.
2001.
Oh, it's okay.
No,
It's
sorry,
20-something years ago.
2021.
Oh, not that long ago.
Not long
A couple
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I want to do another one. I've been trying to do an April Fool's.
Yeah, I'll do the next
ride.
one with you.
Do you ride a bicycle?
I know how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
No training wheels, nothing.
No, but you'd be fine with gears riding for
Yeah.
9 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, I would be. Worst case scenario, I quit, and that would just make it look even cooler of a trip if you're like, Ari couldn't make it.
What is this, Ari?
Oh, you got some Feel Free Classic Kratom.
You know I love Kratom.
This is a great product, really, as far as Kratom goes. If you're into it,
you know what? I got to be honest with you. I've drinking the Kratom concentrates before, and I'm not going to say the brand, but it might have been the most pungent, awful thing I've ever had in my mouth. And this is, honestly, it tastes like it's got rose water in it or something.
It's good.
It's very subtle. It's got a little getty up on the back end. You get that earthiness to it, but I'm telling you, this is good stuff. Feel free.
Feel free. Wow.
I don't know why they chose the blue glass, but I like it.
How do you notice that? And I'm being real here. I want to know your honesty here.
Yeah.
How does Kratom affect you, your body, your mood?
It
your
gives
mind?
me the best way I could describe it. And we were talking about the opiate properties that are based on it. And it kind of brings me back to that. Remember those early Christmases when you were standing around the empty Christmas tree because you were Jewish?
Of course, I remember. Santa came.
How did you feel at your bar mitzvah?
Good. A lot of, it was
Yeah,
a
there's
happy
joy.
moment.
Yeah,
joy moment.
faces and friends and
Yeah,
the food.
friends,
And there's
family,
there's
yeah,
a
exactly.
there's a sense of
Festive.
joy that's being shared by everybody. Well, that's kind of that.
It's
Bar mitzvah in a bottle is what I'm getting
that's
at.
amazing.
And it's blue and white.
That's bar mitzvah colors. That's amazing. It's the closest thing that I've had to that, I think. So I went to Vietnam for 2 weeks.
My
just
brother
got back.
went, says it's one of the best places
Loved
he went
it.
to.
Incredible place.
Yeah.
But there you
Killing
can.
Fields?
I went there. Yeah, it was cool.
My brother said that was amazing too.
It was an interesting experience. Sad, but
yeah,
fun. And there's
that's
guns
exactly
that
what
give you
he
the
said.
shit.
He said it was like.
But it's funny because it's this sad memorial to the fallen Vietnamese soldiers, but they also have a shooting range at the Killing Fields, and you could rent like M16s or
it's
whatever
like
you want and shoot guns. It's pretty interesting.
Fuck. What's it called? The gift shop at Auschwitz.
They do that there too?
I think there's one. I think you can get shirts and keychains.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a gift shop that goes back. This has a gift shop and a shooting range at a war memorial.
This is the thing. The world never had made sense.
It never made sense.
No.
And
There's
still
a
doesn't.
strip club next to a Bible store in Canada.
That sounds great.
Letterman featured it on a couple of his
That does.
shows. Yeah.
So you really have to test your strength as a Christian.
Yeah. Well, the place was called Fatty's, if I remember correctly.
That's the strip club or the
Yeah.
Bible study place?
Yeah, the Bible studies was called Fatty. It used to be a Weight Watchers and a Jenny Craig, but they switched over to Bibles.
And kept the name.
Yeah.
That's smart.
You've gone to church,
Don't have
haven't
to
you?
rebrand. I've been with some friends a couple of times.
Weddings?
Been to some weddings. I've been to some communions.
Yeah.
I had my best friend growing up was Christian, Catholic.
Yeah.
So I would go with him and his family to Catholic church.
I think you
sometimes.
have a general curiosity about
Yeah.
people's superstitions and
Totally. I've been to
traditions.
Buddhist temples. I've
Yeah.
been all over. All the Scientology.
Oh.
You name it, I've checked it out.
What about voodoo up in
I take back. I've not gotten to voodoo.
any black magic or
Nothing with black in it.
nothing with black in it?
No
White
blacks,
magic?
nothing.
No magic? Did
No,
you
I have.
get a
That
Ouija
sounds interesting.
board
I
out?
would. I'd be down to, but no, I haven't been to that. Oh, but I was saying in Vietnam, they have, at any pharmacy you could get over the counter. I forget the term for it, but it's essentially an opioid painkiller. So you can get over the counter, or tramadol. That's what it's called.
Is that the stuff from Serpent Under the Rainbow?
I don't know Serpent on the Rainbow, but I know tramadol makes you feel real good.
What was that the voodoo stuff that it makes you catatonic, but you can feel and see and hear everything, but your heart stops, I think.
I don't think tramadol does that. It's really just an opium painkiller. So you take a couple of them, and you just it gives you that feeling of warmth and
That's
kind of
like
melting into the seat.
This kratom has that.
Yeah,
That's
opium.
the love that you never got.
Yeah, it really. It feels like you have a warm blanket on.
Yeah,
just the perfect temperature, and you just kind of. It makes you a little sleepy, but in a good way.
Heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we also have Pulp Fiction.
It's good.
Have you done heroin?
No, I've just done the tramadol, but I could see myself. I'm glad you can't get it over the counter here.
No,
because I'd be getting it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opium, have you experimented with? No, because you've never taken anything psychedelic or...
I've done mushrooms and I've done acid.
Acid, good for you.
Yeah, once. In Australia, actually.
Yeah, because it's like $40 a hit in Australia. You can get it in California for $2.
I didn't pay for it, luckily. I was performing in Perth. I don't know if you've been there. It's like the far side of Australia. Farthest place you can go,
Never been to Australia, but I'm quite familiar with it.
Definitely need to go. They would love you in Australia.
It's been on my list.
They would love your humor there, truly. They have better senses of humor than any other Western culture, in my opinion.
Okay.
They just laugh more. They're more down to earth.
Yeah.
They're better. So, in Perth, on stage, someone handed me a tab of acid.
On stage?
On stage.
Ari Mannis.
And I put it in my pocket. And then I got off and I thought to myself, you know what? I was in a good mood. I had that girlfriend at the time that wasn't with me there, but just like I was coming off that high of love. And I was performing in Perth and a good show. And I was like...
Triple down.
Yeah, I was like, this is a great time to try acid. And I did it. Did it at 10 at night.
Kicked in at 11:15.
So it was the one... I didn't have a bad trip. But I remember it being 2 or 3 in the morning and going...
Enough.
I think I wish this could be over because I did this too late. Because I was just up in bed by myself tripping on acid.
And that's the thing, though. You learn to work with tripping by yourself and acid, opposed to being, I'm stuck in this thing. It's like, well, I'm going to start painting the walls of my own prison and making it accommodating.
I remember I was tripping out. I ended up falling asleep while tripping.
Nice.
And then I woke up and had a flight to go somewhere else in Australia. I forget where. But I just remember feeling so high and out of it.
Everything
as
was
I'm
a
going to the airport. Yeah. I'm going to the airport. I'm like, this is crazy. Such a 23 or early 20s decision. Like me now, if I had a flight the next day, if it was late, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing acid right now. That's insane.
Yeah.
But
can you imagine being arrested at the airport high on LSD?
that'd be a good story. I wish I could say.
We've seen enough of those YouTube videos of travelers getting tased by the local security. Countries besides Australia, America, any visits to Canada?
I just did all the House of Comedies this year for the first time. They headlined me. It was really exciting. No, I went by myself. They headlined me, and I did Vancouver and their other ones in is it Calgary? Where is it? I forget.
Edmonton.
Edmonton. Yeah, Edmonton.
That place is a toilet.
Edmonton. You know what? It's kind of like our Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a cold. They have a big mall.
Yeah.
Cold, dreary town. Yeah, it's not the best.
Vancouver's lovely.
Vancouver's
it's changed
beautiful.
A lot.
The House of Comedy is in a suburb of Vancouver. It's still beautiful. People, I say where I go, and people go, "That's the shithole part of Vancouver." I'm like, it was right along the river. It was really nice.
It's usually the inhabitants that populate these shitty quote areas at night. As you notice, they have a serious heroin, fentanyl problem in the city.
Yeah, but I guess also maybe because I live in LA.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
Like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Like, this is great.
And it rains here, so it washes all the piss and puke. It's like, what are you guys complaining about? There's no blood on the sidewalk.
I truly thought that. And then what's the river called that goes through Vancouver?
Granville River?
Maybe Granville, yeah. And so I was like, this is beautiful. And I looked it up. They're like, do not go in the Granville River.
Yeah.
It's filled with herpes.
Yeah.
You'll drown.
Yeah.
It'll pull you under.
There's plenty of other nice nature places. Go over to North Van. You can go on that Capilano suspension bridge.
Yeah.
A lady threw a baby off of there.
Just for fun or why?
Brenda, could you pull up lady throws baby off of Capilano suspension bridge? I moved to Vancouver in 93. Hockey riots, lady throws her baby. We're watching the news. I'm from like the Pittsburgh of Canada, and I've moved in.
Was it her baby or someone else's baby?
Her baby.
Her baby. So she's one of those crazy moms. Yeah. I feel like a lot of Canadian
she threw
women.
The baby. What year was that?
2000.
2000, yeah.
A lot of Canadian women kill their own babies, I've noticed, more than American women.
Probably to stay warm.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's a
think more
survival
women
thing.
kill their babies in Canada?
I think more women are killers. Yeah,
I think more
In
women
Canada.
kill their husbands in America.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In America, they kill their husbands. In Canada, they kill their babies.
45 shootings in my city of Hamilton, Canada.
That's a lot considering the gun laws are so strict there.
Yeah, we're getting up there. We'll be Chicago in about 5 years.
I went to Vancouver maybe 3 years ago with Theo and Abby.
Oh, I saw those photos. You guys,
And-
that must have been fucking awesome.
It was awesome because
Didn't you
the
bomb, you said?
No, not that one. I bombed with Theo in London.
London, Ontario, or England?
London, England.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, if you'd spent a few months and recalibrated, in fact, probably come up with a bunch of new shit,
Yeah.
it's an adjustment. It's an air pressure thing.
Yeah, I found Europe, for some reason I struggled a little bit in Europe. I didn't bomb every show, but I bombed a couple.
Yeah, because you look European, yet you talk down to them constantly.
Yeah, they're not as good as us. But I went to Vancouver with them,
How many days?
2 or 3, and the shows were great.
Yeah.
The people there are beautiful too.
Yeah,
Like
good looking.
Vancouver
Yeah.
people are beautiful people.
Big yoga town.
Yeah, so there was that. And then, forget the story that I was just going to tell you, actually. But,
You bombed.
no, I did good. Where was this going? It's slipping. Embarrassing. But
Vancouver,
Canada.
Theo, Abby.
Theo.
Were you at the Vogue Theater on Granville Street?
I think so. Yeah, it was beautiful. I don't
Yeah.
remember what I was going to say, but yeah, I love Vancouver.
Yeah. I could
Great
see you
times.
living there.
I could see myself living there.
Yeah.
If they had a bigger... It's weird. I'm at
Business?
this place in my life where I want to leave LA. I just don't know where to go because I want to meet my wife and start a family
Yeah.
and be more of a normal person. But I'm not ready to give up on comedy either.
Yeah, but
So I'm
would you
kinda-
be? Are you telling me that if you started a family and found a woman that you love, that you would comedy would kind of sand through your fingers? Would you get another career outside of show business?
No, I still want. That's what I'm saying. I still want to do comedy, but I'm not famous, so I can't just live anywhere.
Yeah,
I could, I guess, but I can't. I still want to be able to get up on
I
stage
don't think
a
your
lot.
wife lives in America.
Where does she live? Australia. Or Canada. You're thinking Denmark. You're thinking Scandinavia. Or Southeast Asia. What are you thinking? Could be any of those places, really.
Honestly, you ready, Brenda? Iceland.
Ooh, I've never been there. I'd like to go.
You know why? Because your wife's there waiting.
She's
She's been waiting.
The
for
Northern
her.
Lights?
It's
Sign me
beautiful.
up.
Just type in Icelandic women and click on images. It's like 6 women to every guy.
No, here's my actual plan. So the problem, like, okay, so for example, going to Iceland.
Yeah, it's
That
crazy.
sounds amazing, right?
Yeah.
But there's not much comedy in Iceland. There's not a big enough scene.
No,
to
but there's
sustain
an
me.
airport in Iceland. How many
Yeah.
countries are close to Iceland? A bunch of them.
Yeah,
and for
but
$100, you can get a return ticket to 50 of them.
that's not bad. You're selling it well.
Yeah, your wife is there. Look at her. She's in the. Yeah, that's her.
Do they like?
Ari!
Do they
Ari!
like American or Canadian accents there? Like when you go there, you feel like you stand out and people are attracted to you.
I'm in the bar, talking to a friend. A girl grabs me by the arm. Where are you from? I'm Canadian. Oh, and blah, 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 blah. They tell the other bitches. He's
Wow.
from Canada. And then they all jockey for position to empty the old piss mitt.
I'm also at this point where I wish I wasn't so driven by wanting a woman. I need to be better at being by myself.
You want a woman to breed.
Yeah, I want to breathe.
And as far as the whites go, an Icelandic ass, those girls were born without anuses and they're always happy.
That sounds great.
That's good for you.
That sounds incredible.
Hairless, great teeth and skin. She's probably going to be.
When are you going there? I'll
honestly-
go open for you there.
Well, I'm in. Yeah, that's happening. Not this year, but next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah.
So date. I'm going
You
with you
wanna-
to Iceland.
With Kenny and Spenny.
I've heard of them. I think one of them follows me on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Kenny probably.
Yeah.
We're going to do a big European tour next year. Yeah, but Iceland will be definitely there.
I'll fly to Iceland. I'll take just
cheap.
for the
Look,
vacation. Yeah.
The flights.
There are cheap. I've
Austin.
seen,
Yeah, it's fucking
it's not bad.
$370.
Yeah,
and they
it's
give you a
pretty
hotel
wild. They
for a night.
They have deals.
Yeah, they have deals.
They want you out there.
You know they have an app.
No, an Iceland app.
Brenda knows.
I'm thinking, but here's the actual truth too.
No, to find out if you're related. That's why the foreigners come over.
Because there's so much like
incest.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's fun.
So you have to help the gene pool by coming in a stranger.
I'm sold. You sold me. But I'm also November. I'm going to Australia for 3 months. I decided I'm going to go to Sydney and just try living there for 3 months.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I have a sneaking suspicion you're going to come in some stripper.
I don't even think they have strip clubs there.
Sorry, some slut.
Yeah.
Don't get any pig pregnant in Australia.
No, I'm looking for love. I'm not into sluts. I prefer virgins, to be honest. If I had my pick at my perfect dream woman,
untouched.
She's never been with any man, but because she's been waiting for me.
Yeah, but what happens if she's waited for you and you become a huge disappointment?
That's probably that's the most realistic scenario. But
are you content?
She won't know that. She won't actually be disappointed because she's never experienced anyone else, so she won't be as disappointed as a normal woman would.
I think your idea is going to go out the window when you go to Iceland. You're going to go, this is the girl. Whatever she's doing, I'm on board because I know that she loves me.
How come your girlfriend isn't Icelandic?
She's Scandinavian.
Same thing.
It's,
similar.
They wouldn't say that, but yeah. It's just a better.
They're nicer, huh?
It's just cooler. It's just sexier. It's cooler.
My cousin has a Swedish girlfriend.
Yeah.
He got a Swedish citizenship from dating
He's
a girl.
Probably a little more relaxed.
Super relaxed.
He's mellowed out.
So mellow.
He goes in, he smells a lock of her hair that he keeps in his underwear drawer.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he?
I think 30, I want to say.
Perfect. Did he meet her in Sweden?
I forget, but I forget if he met her there or when she was in America, but he went and moved to Sweden for her. And
Will Ferrell's wife, Swedish.
It's pretty good. You sold me. I'm in. I
think it's going to be some girl in Iceland. It'll be 2 days before you're about to leave. You're going to have to change your flight. You end up staying for a month and a half. She shows up in Austin or L.A. 2 months later for a couple weeks. You guys figure it out. She's like, listen, I want to have a baby. And then you're going to start crying.
You're saying my fantasy right now.
And she's going to pull her underwear to the side and go, here. And you're like in the elevator. And then she hits the stop button.
She'll say, hey, here's the deal. Impregnate me right now. And if I get pregnant, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And if I don't, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so then right there in the elevator, we do it.
Yeah.
And then 10 days
one
later,
stroke,
she'll
too,
say,
just
I'm
one
pregnant.
Plunge. Both barrels.
10 days later, we
right
find out.
Back.
She takes a test.
Yeah.
If she's pregnant, I move to Iceland and be with her and start my family. And if she's not, it wasn't meant to be. And I'm on to the next.
Yeah, well, you guys end up in Iceland for the first 2 or 3 years of the baby, but then because you had to get the paperwork to move your family to America, so they had American passports.
Well, I probably should also... I might want her to be in America when she's having the baby because I do want my future kid to be able to run for president if need be.
Fuck, that'd be crazy. Half Icelandic kid?
Mm-hmm.
What's his hair look like?
Probably like thin, falls out when he's in his early 30s.
No, I mean like when he's running for presidency.
Bald. He'll be bald by then.
It's gone.
Yeah. I'm going to get moved to Turkey and get hair implants. Maybe I can meet someone in Turkey.
But you end up with those baseball scars all over your head.
No, they fixed that. They don't have those anymore. That's old hair implants. New hair implants look so good. You could do it. Imagine if you went to Turkey and had hair implants, came back with full head of hair. That would be so funny. Even if it looked good, it'd be funny because it'd be so wild.
I've got pictures somewhere on the internet of me with, like, I had hair down to my waist, but when it started thinning, I was like, thank God. And I shaved my head, and it was nice and round, and I was like, I could go through life like this.
Yeah,
like
but just for the bit of you coming back with full head of hair would be so good.
Yeah, but you can get the wigs that you glue down and stuff. I've put on women's wigs before, and I thought, you know what, with a bit of a trim,
that'd be a good bit too, but I feel like hair implants would be such a better bit.
I have an example, actually, of what I look like with long hair. I just did this movie a little while ago, and there was a wig scene.
You were in a movie wearing a wig?
Well, yeah.
It's called Porn, I think. Wow. That's a good makeup artist.
There's no makeup.
Oh.
That's rubber tits.
Good wardrobe.
And a wig. I have no makeup on.
Whoever they hired for wardrobe is great. I would hire
It
them
was
for
this
any
was
set.
wardrobe, the wig, and the rubber tits. The tits look
So
good.
What was this movie called?
Daddy's Finger. It's called.
Is that actually for a movie, or was that
yeah,
just something
yeah.
you do?
I did this horror movie where I'm a guy who wakes up after a Burning Man, and he's been robbed, and the only thing he has is his backpack full of drugs on in a G-string, and he goes out hitchhiking, and these vampires pick him up in a van, and then go on this journey. So that's gonna
Vampire
be
horror movie.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Do you like the script, or is it?
Yeah, and I had a lot of luxuries in it where there was scenes that were I elaborated on and added some Jason Rouse-isms,
Sweet.
which was hilarious. There's
Excited to see it.
yeah, so
Is it real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all real. I'll show you the poster. It
What
is-
What were you on the call sheet?
Oh, I had like 30 pages.
So you're a big role in that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a very good actor, but this this film was a lot of fun. It's like 10 days.
How did this all line up? Did you audition?
You know, I've
Did-
been on 5 auditions, and 2 of those were for Saturday Night Live. I've never auditioned. I went on a couple. That's the film there.
Wow. Pretty bad looking poster, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah,
I'm still gonna watch it.
It was
Yeah.
the first. I think it was a draft that he had put out initially when we started the project, but I'm sure there'll be a version of that. In fact, the director's standing in the background. I don't know how that.
Yeah, like that guy's not even in the movie.
Yeah, he does
just-
play a
yeah.
redneck in one of the sports bars, but yeah, I play this fucked up burner, like a Burning Man guy who
Sounds awesome.
wakes up with the yeah, the characters are great. One of the guys that made a meme out of one of the hot tub scenes.
So this was this outfit that you're wearing here?
Just
You're-
rubber tits,
Right.
a G-string.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty real. But was this
Yeah.
outfit
My skin's the same color as the rubber.
what you wore the whole movie, or just
I
part
was
of it for most of
literally,
it?
and the G-string was too small. My balls kept falling out. And they had to stop shooting.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah, this is the
Are
kind
there
of
any
roles-
sex scenes?
Yeah, there's a bunch of sex scenes. All the vampires run a train on this girl in the back of the camper, and they drink her blood and stuff. It's pretty wild. Yeah, so that's coming out. But you're here. Are you going to be making some? Am I going to see you more than once every 3 years?
I'll probably be here once or twice a year,
Yeah.
maybe more. I think I was here. At this pace I've been going. I've been coming every 3 months, so
Yeah.
maybe even more. 3 to 6 months.
I'll let you know about Iceland
Yeah, please do.
because there's no reason why you couldn't come out.
I'll go. I'll take an L. I'll go and just for the fun of it.
Your
Yeah.
wife is there, Ari.
I believe you.
I see
You
your
sold me.
children's eyes in the.
And worst case scenario, I see the Northern Lights and I don't meet a wife and I just have a good time with you. Do
I don't
shows.
think the wife thing. I don't think it's so much as you meeting her. It's what girl's gonna snatch your ass up.
Yeah,
You're gonna get snatched up.
that's what I want.
You're clean. You're 30.
I'm clean. I'm 34. I'm kind.
Yeah,
I'm funny.
yeah,
I'm cute.
yeah. You don't have any substance abuse problems.
No substance abuse
Incurable
problems.
diseases.
No diseases. There's no reason I shouldn't have girls lining up to marry me right now.
Yeah, they're lined, but you've been passing on them because they're slobs.
True. Yeah, the good ones. Need some good ones.
Well, are we recording yet? Thanks for being on the show, Ari.
Thanks for having me.
And
God bless you.
congratulations on your new studio spaces.
Thank you. Thanks for
in
trying it out.
New York, Los Angeles, and here now in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Permanent Melrose podcast studios here in Austin, Texas. I've been Jason Rouse. Go to jasonrouse.com and you can find out all the shows in Canada. Yeah, that's right. London, Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario, Kitchener, Ontario, Windsor, Waterloo, and then scroll down a little more. There is Oshawa, and then Sweden. Yeah, 2-3 shows in Sweden, and then Denmark. And I'm adding Poland, Germany, and
When are you going to these
the
places?
Netherlands. This is all October.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I made sure of. I've done comedy in 25 countries in 28 years, so I'm behind 3 years. Countries.
Who goes more international, you or Tom Rhodes?
Tom Rhodes by far.
Yeah,
Tom Rhodes has been international for 20 years.
I thought you had been too. How long have you been doing it for?
Yeah, but I've got 25 countries. Tom's got like 60 countries.
Wow.
He's the most traveled comedian.
That's what I was.
Yeah, no doubt. By far. By a lot. Playing all of it. Theaters.
Basically the same comic, you and him.
Me and him.
Same sense of humor.
He's better with kids than I am, but
He is good.
I'll see. Hopefully I'll run into Tom at an airport or something. And you, sir, your Icelandic wife is how old?
Probably right now, 17. By the time we'll be there, she'll be 18.
You want a young woman?
No, 30. I don't know.
30. That's
Yeah.
respectable.
I don't care. I don't know. Age is just a number. As long as she's an adult and
Once
mature.
she shows up with a kid.
I don't know if I want to be a stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be 40. She could be 25. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it out there, Icelandic women.
Love you.
Bye. Thanks, Brenda.
Of course.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe word with Jason Rouse.